Hey,
Hey.
I'm Jack.
I'm in mourning.
He's Robin.
I am in mourning today.
We're the Inwits, by the way.
We are. And
Painted
it is
black.
painted black. I put my buff band set across my head. It's now on my arm. Yeah.
Just paint
in
the
memoriam.
paint the world black.
Why? Why? Do all my favourite players who are always so physically amazing, hopelessly strategical? They can't play strategy. And
I think. Look,
you know what hurts me?
Oh, look, I know what hurts you.
No, but you know what really hurts me? Before
Did
I
he
watched
believe
this,
them?
but before I watched this episode, right?
Yeah.
I was watching season 16 of Ozzy's second episode, and that one damn episode I watched is the exact same episode where Ozzy got blindsided with the idol.
Oh.
And I'm like, I just watched that, I'm like, oh, now I've got this week's episode. I've got a new Survivor to get
That's
to.
right.
And I watched that episode, and lo and behold, Joe let me down so much.
Joe is. Look.
At least Joe has the strongest thing to come back from it. To come back, he's got the strongest chance. He's gonna do. Yeah, he's gonna come back. He's coming back.
Depending on if somebody finds
Advantages
a
and
disadvantage for
disadvantages.
him, right?
I know.
Which I quite like the idea of the disadvantages.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get into it. Let's bring it back.
Start from the top.
Let's reel it back because we've gone to the very end.
I know, right?
It's heartbreaking for me.
So we get merge.
We get merge.
And then I was actually surprised because I didn't think it was going to happen then, right? But they normally have for the merge, they normally have a challenge set up.
Yeah,
that they never do.
Yeah.
That they never do, right? And
and they've done that, but it was for Extinction.
Yeah, but this is interesting because they've brought back for the start of the season 4 players from previous seasons, right? Which are called returnees, and this was another set of returnees.
Yeah,
from within the game. So the theme here this season is returnees, isn't it?
Yeah, fair enough.
Right? Just like that. Anyway.
That was your clever little thing you came up with, okay?
Right. So I hope that brightens your day.
Nothing will brighten my day. And if I didn't watch Ozzy get eliminated in an old episode,
no, I don't think
I was so upset that I stopped watching that season. I went back to season 7.
I don't think that's going to help. What I mean is it might have been a double blow, but it was history, right?
I know it was history. I knew it was history, right. But I just
But anyway, look, I really enjoyed the way they brought the returnees back from Extinction. Yeah. The competition, only one gets back in.
One gets back in, yeah.
But I also like that now they know it's still going.
It's still going, exactly.
You can still redeem yourself if you play well, right?
Yeah.
I was really panicking when Wendy was almost almost won.
Yeah.
I was like, no, not Wendy, please, anybody but.
Yeah, she almost got in. I read an article because at the end of Extinction, you see them going, yes, we're doing it, and then only 3 came back at merge. I'm like, well, we didn't see them at all, so I quickly did a bit of...
Oh, no, you see them raise the sail.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Did I blink and miss that?
It's not very long, but it is maybe 45 seconds.
Because I was carrying my laptop around while cooking and stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
So I missed that.
You saw, at the end, they were all like, yes, we get another chance, right? Yeah. And then you see the very next cut's the beach. Right? And Keith and Wendy run over and just basically raise the sail.
Okay, I'll rewatch that.
And Chris and Reem are all really are watching them.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, I missed that. I literally, because I was watching, and that was, I found that really, for me, we know I'm a sook. I found that an emotional part for me, because I'm like, I know I want to play this game so desperately, and to have been in, to be voted out, and then come back in and have that chance. And when Aubrey was kind of going, what this means to me, and they all had their little spiel before Jeff was like, well, it's still going.
Yeah, they were wrapped.
Here's your choice. You can go back. I was just I was overcome with emotion. Oh my god!
You see how much Aubrey was crying at that point.
Yeah, because she's the game of Survivor means so much.
She was fully expecting to be, okay, got nothing for you. See you later, guys.
Yeah.
Right?
Mass Exodus.
Exodus. She was just wrapped that she's coming back, right? Tears of joy.
Yeah, and I was bawling my eyes out because I could put myself in that situation and be on the island, get voted out, and we know I'd be shattered.
Yeah, I've got a heart of stone, so I didn't care.
Yeah, I did. I'm a big mushy marshmallow. I was just a mess. I'm like, oh my god, I know exactly what this would feel like.
You must have cried a river when Joe left.
No, because I was so annoyed at Joe.
Aubrey gets to stay, you cry. Joe
it's
goes
not
home
about
and
no,
thanks
it's
for
not
it.
about Aubrey staying. It's about the lot of them and how it would feel, and me putting myself in that
Yeah,
situation.
wouldn't you feel like devastated if you were Joe then?
Yeah, if I didn't sit on my ass and paint all afternoon.
Look, that was the equivalent to me of sitting on the beach. You know, we've seen in other series, right? People will go, they know they're on the block, right? And they'll go and sit on the beach.
I can't.
I'm like, what are you
I
doing?
am so annoyed that I cannot. Yes, I'm devastated. We know I love Joe.
Oh, yeah.
We
exactly.
know it. But I am.
One thing, before we go, one thing, the last thing about the returnees, like, you know, the Extinction Island returnees is Wendy's comment before she got on the boat. You wouldn't have seen this, actually, right? Because you did.
Because
I
was carrying around cooking and cleaning, yeah.
But Wendy said, I couldn't believe it, right? This is Debbie levels of irreality, you know, unrealness. Then Wendy said about a game, everything that could go wrong did go wrong. I was like, I cracked up at that. Yeah, that's right. It wasn't you that released chickens,
No,
right?
yeah.
It wasn't you that every time somebody offered you a deal would sit there and go, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Or no,
You know,
right?
I'd be curious to know if she's eating meat again. I'd be really, I want to know.
That's a good one.
I want to know.
Yeah, I want to know too.
After the whole saga of the chickens,
that's
have
right.
you eaten the chickens?
I'm almost betting when she got back to the hotel, it'd be chicken there.
Yeah,
right?
like if she wasn't great, really happy for her decision and that being her realization moment. But if she's gone back and eaten chickens, just like the rest of us.
You know, her in her mind, she's actually played the game, and
Yeah.
if it wasn't for the things going wrong, she would have been fine.
Well, she was winning apparently. Like she had one of the balls with the two in.
No, it was only one ball.
No, it was two. They never showed it.
What?
They get two balls because, like I said, I read the article, and Wendy was like, "I had the first ball in. No one had the I was so far ahead." And you know when she loses it up top, that's her second ball to go in.
I never
And
saw that.
No, you don't. You see them grab two.
No,
You
I
don't.
didn't see
You do. You see two balls. Yeah, and then in a couple of the cuts, you do see a ball sitting in the back for the reverse cuts. Yeah, and so when I read that article on Wendy, she's like, I was in the lead. I had the first ball in before anyone else, and that was the one we see where she was so close. That was her second ball, and she was going to come in then, and it was all over.
Well, look, I'm glad she didn't, and I'm glad Keith didn't make it either. Like, you know,
because the fact is they both quit.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They wouldn't have had the wherewithal to keep going, right? But you know, Rick is clearly, you know, like I'm back.
Rick's back.
The good thing he's got Dave still there.
Yeah,
right?
Chris would have been good to come back.
Chris isn't as connected as Rick.
No,
but you know.
Yeah, but he's got a physical. Like he would have been something that I could have helped.
And I would have been happy to see Aubrey come back because at least she's got an idol and a.
Yeah.
Well, I
Did they keep the idol?
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Because I was thinking the same thing.
When Aubrey went out of the game, we never saw her lose anything.
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't somebody... Like, Jeff didn't go down to the sign and then go, by the way, you've got to give me your idol.
Yeah, please put in your idols. Because that's what I was also thinking about that. If Kelley was to go, would she come back? She still has her idol.
Yeah.
And on top of that, we now have when do they come back? Do they come back final 6? Do they come back final 5?
Exactly.
Like, they're coming back pretty late on the game, surely.
I like the way this one's come back through merge, but also, like you said, you know, are they going to let it go to 6 or will it be like every second week? Or I don't mind an extended season of this.
Yeah.
Right? But not too extended, you know. We don't want to go to Australia of extension. The other next thing that happens is, like, I like the way Kelley was talking to camera, right? Like, Kelley was analysing the group, right? And she was like, Dave and Rick are together, and they could shift. And she's right. They could. They'll go with anyone, right? She was like, Joe's on the out. She actually went and talked to Joe, right? Yeah. I'm like, Joe, don't just sit there and give a meh, right? Say, what do you want to do?
Yeah,
right?
he sat there and went, yeah, we are on the outs.
Yeah.
Like, I know, it was me, Aubrey, and the other girl.
And?
He did know where he sat.
I know. And I was like, and?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, it's great. You know, this is good because now it's like, Joe, you jump across, grab the other girl, jump across. It's you, her,
Joe,
Kelley,
Aurora,
Kelley,
yeah,
Joe,
Laura,
Kelley, Lauren, whatever her name is, Rick, and
Neil,
Dave,
and
potentially, and potentially War Dog, who still is the most hopeless physical looking person who's ever graced the stage. He can't do anything in a performance.
But anyway,
Joe,
and then he goes and sits down, and paints, but we're still getting ahead.
I know, but it's just like it's just ridiculous.
Right. But anyway, look. The other good thing is that Kelley said in her one-on-one was like, I'm trying to figure out where this Karma tribe sits. Like, she's trying to and this is that social mapping that you got to do, right? So she's on the ball. Like, I think she may finally have woken up, right? Because she's actually doing stuff, right? It didn't look like the old Kelley yet, but anyway. Now, merge, right? One of the interesting things about merge is it's almost like day one again.
Yeah.
In one sense, right? Because the other thing is, and like day one, you don't want to be the people throwing out names. But here we are in merge, and Kelley and Lauren are like, what about Rick?
And that put Kelley on a...
Exactly. And that's what you got to be careful at merge. Like, when you first lay on the beach, you don't want to be that person throwing... Notice Julie said, who were you thinking of?
Yeah.
Julie didn't throw a name out. She was like, well, who are you thinking of, right?
And if it agrees with me or if it doesn't agree with me.
That's
and
right.
it does not agree with me.
And it does not agree with me, right? But that's what I mean. Day one, you can't be the one throwing out names. And at merge, you can't be the one throwing out names.
Yeah.
So I thought that was bad play on their part.
The only difference, so we know you get that reset when you get to merge.
Yeah.
The only difference, however, is you do have the 15 odd days that you've spent with these people.
True. But
which then forms tighter bonds where there were no bonds prior. So now you have the same element of a new beginning. However, there is these people and these people.
yeah.
Why Kelley instantly wanted to throw Rick under the bus?
I don't know. That's the strange thing. Because she was like, it's going to be an easy vote, but why pick the easy vote? You've got some idols. Right?
Yeah,
let's go after somebody who's going to really benefit our game.
Because, yeah, you know what? You can really start to ruffle the feathers of Karma, who have had no issues at all this thus far in the game.
This is the thing, right? Like, if you have a look at it, right?
And who have Karma voted out? Aubrey.
Yeah, and Joe. Right? That's right. Like, there's no upset to their power. Like, this is, and it really shows in the tribal that they've never been to tribal, right? Yeah. But we'll get to that, right? But anyway, look, I thought that was bad play on Kelley and Lauren's
I thought it was bad on both of their behalves to kind of go.
They're the ones that should be going to the others and going, "Who do you think?"
Yeah,
what do you think?
So good to have, and even as we always talk about, getting so focused on the divide of
exactly.
I'm this team, you're this team.
That's right.
However, when you are lacking numbers and when you are facing a force that is Karma strong,
yeah.
You almost need to go, all right, what can we do? Let's get Rick, let's get Dave,
right.
Let's unite as our old Manu tribe, try and see if we can get a Joe, because Joe is clearly on the outs with Aurora.
I know.
If we can swing, and then let's start to disrupt that powerful six.
See, this is the thing, with Joe going home, Kelley, Lauren, Niels, David and Rick's, right, options have lessened.
Yeah.
Right? There's another player they could have perhaps roped in or gotten to play with them.
So the Rick... That's a baffling thing to me, why she was pushing for Rick and why she was pushing so strongly.
Mind you, Julie says, it would just be evil to send him back to Extinction. Are you playing Survivor or not?
Oh, that's weird.
That is just so weird.
I'm like, I understand.
He's competition. Who cares who goes to Extinction and when?
And theoretically, any other season of Survivor, he's lost.
Exactly. He's already out.
It's almost the thing is like, no, we've voted this person out. We don't want them to get another shot. They shouldn't be playing this game anymore.
That's right.
That could be your mentality. Are you going to take that mentality, fingers crossed, when Joe comes back in?
Yeah.
Are you going to say, well, it'd be really mean to
vote Joe, or are you going to just
He's been on Extinction Island for so long.
I bet they don't. I think it's a double standard.
Yeah.
Right? Because it was the other tribe.
Yeah.
If
Joe comes back,
they're going to be like, Joe's got to go.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty difficult. I mean, Chris's seems pretty physical, and he almost had that as well. Yeah. But Joe, we know Joe's pretty damn solid, depending on the challenge. He's got a good percentage of coming back in.
Well, the other problem for Joe is now, if he does come back in, the Karma 6, are you going to go, well, he's instantly against us.
Oh.
So that's why they're going to get rid of him as well, because they're going to go, he's instantly going to go to whoever the opposition is.
You're not going to sit there and go, but he's been on Extinction.
None of them will say, oh, he's been on Extinction. It'd be just evil to say that.
No, that's the game. There's one person left.
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like somebody trying to, I don't know, make themselves look good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Rather than,
look, unfortunately, it did work out for Karma, but Karma could have gone,
but Karma could have voted anybody. Really.
Exactly, they could have voted anybody. But when Joe doesn't have an immunity, it's the same concept as when an Aussie doesn't get an immunity, and Malcolm doesn't get an immunity. You take that opportunity, and I don't blame them for taking that opportunity.
Look, we'll get to it, but I think it was silly for them to vote Joe. But anyway, right?
Yeah, okay. So I think it was because I love him, but yeah.
No, but I really do think it was. I don't think it was a very good vote, and that's what I mean. I think Karma in this tribal shows their ineptitude.
Yes,
because they've never been to tribal before.
They're not thinking. Yeah.
Right, but anyway,
but we'll get to that.
We'll get to that, right? So one thing about that, the half idol. I have no problem with them giving a half idol, okay? But I'm not sure it should be given. Like there is an upside to the half idol and downside, right? I have half an idol, right? And I've got to give it to another player, the other half, and then we got to match it up, blah, blah, blah. So there's a downside because it involves trust.
It does involve trust.
If you do give it to somebody you don't trust, you're dead, right?
Well, yeah, it's like it said, it's a bargaining tool.
But
he didn't use it as a bargaining tool because he went to his one ally.
It's pretty limited bargaining tool.
It is.
Right?
You kind of want to give up an idol, or you're giving out an idol.
That's right.
It's like that's.
But I'm not sure. I feel the only thing that made me feel uneasy was it was given to him.
Because that's the reason it was. Well, no, it's not the reason. But it's like we've seen these Redemption Island people come back into the game, and they're instantly targeted to go out straight away.
I know.
So it is to kind of disrupt that, but it's not for this one tribal, so it doesn't work for this tribal.
That's what I mean. Like, if you were going to use that logic, you would say, but
this tribe, was you good for this tribal or this tribal?
That's it, right? To keep them in, as you pointed out. Saying, no, you have to wait until after this tribal, it just puts them back in the same Redemption Island boat. They could be voted out instantly. Yeah, right? And
giving it to Dave doesn't really help him. Like, giving it to Dave, I guess the confirmation of giving it to Dave was, if we both make it, we have this idol between us. But it's not really used as a bargaining chip. You go to the other tribe, potentially. How would you use it?
Look, the only thing I could do is, this is the only way to use it. Like, it goes back to the idea of us that you've got to have a power couple, right? You do give it to the other person in your power couple, and then if you make it through that trial, the only thing you can do then is take out a big player. And I'm not talking about a big player in the sense of like Kelley went through, she plays hard, right? Yeah. I'm talking about looking at the Karma 6 and going, who's the glue? Yeah. Who's keeping them together? That's the person we need to send home this time. Because why keep it around? Yes. Right? It's between the two of us. We've just got to use it and get it over with. Yeah. Or
I could potentially, depending on, Rick, I guess, never was in too much danger because of the focus on returnees.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's an upside for him. Like Kelley and Joe.
We can get to the returnee fate. Well, we talked about it last
and we'll talk about it continually, I guess.
Exactly.
But if that wasn't the case, is it viable to go, okay, I'm on the outs on a weaker tribe. If I can go into someone maybe who's on the bottom of the power side.
Oh, that's always an option.
And say, hey, I've got this. It's half an idol. You get half an idol. It's only for, if I stick around, you get the idol. Yeah. You hand off an idol and then potentially play the knowledge of them having an idol against them to get them out or flush it.
That could be a way to do it.
It's like...
It's really tricky, but...
I'm trying to think of a way that makes it more powerful to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Other than just an idol that someone else will know that I have an idol.
Yeah. I think if you're going to do that, you really have to have a good map of who the power structure is. Yeah. You have to really know. And you also have to know that they know they're on the bottom. Yeah. Right? If they don't know they're on the bottom, it's probably going to be bad.
But maybe if you're going for someone on the top, maybe you can help get the people on the bottom to go for the one on the top as well.
If they're aware. But if you're like Debbie, right, and you think, oh no, I'm actually, in control here.
No, I've seen way too many clips of Debbie this week. Oh, God.
No, but you know what I mean. If you're in that mindset that you're actually, because, if they do a good job on you and they actually, make you think that you're part of the control group, somebody coming to you with an idol going, I want to take out blah, is just like, I'm just going to tell them.
Yeah, exactly.
So you do have to be careful. But like Kelley and Lauren, Rick and Dave have nothing to lose by taking out a Karma.
Yeah,
at this point, right? Why are you sitting there going, there's 8 of them, there's 4 of us, that's okay.
Yeah, well, there's 4, we get War Dog, because he's still part of us, there's 5 of us. Well, we get Joe and Aurora, there's 7.
It just doesn't add up. What happened?
It doesn't, I just don't, I cannot for the life of me understand.
Unless we've missed something in there, like maybe there was something cut from the edit, right? But one of the next points I'd like to bring up is like, Neil, as far as I could see, Neil spoke to nobody. Nobody spoke to Neil.
Yeah,
nobody talked to
was
Aurora.
A non-entity in this. Right. It became one of those things where, remember when we never saw Victoria for the first 2 episodes? Yeah. In the amount of people that there were, he just didn't have an impact in what was happening.
But that's what I mean. But I didn't even see anybody talk to him. I didn't see him talk to anybody. I didn't see Aurora talk to anybody or anybody talk to her. I'm like, Kelley, why don't you go to talk to Aurora? Or Lauren, go to talk to Aurora. Go.
Because Joe's also said myself,
and
Aubrey,
Aurora.
and Aurora were on the bottom.
So why aren't you rounding these people up and seeing what deal you can make, right?
Yeah.
It's just, I don't understand their motivation.
Especially when you have two idols between you.
Yeah, like, I was like, why aren't you marshalling these people and trying to get a karma out?
Yeah, why are you still trying to get rid of your own?
Exactly.
When you know they're so tight and strong.
Exactly. So
there's no fracture within them yet because they haven't gone to tribal.
Exactly. We'll get back to that. But anyway, look. Then Dave's like with Wentworth again. It's like, oh, now we've merged. I'm going to go after Kelley.
I'm like, what are you doing? Kelley's a good... But Dave's concept is probably, Kelley's better than me. Kelley's a good... Yeah, if we want to get rid of Kelley, it's not me. But then when does it become you?
At what point do you sit there and go, well, Kelley's against me, even if she's not. Whether she is or not, it's irrelevant, right?
Okay, Kelley's against me. Dave
but there is 7 karma who want me gone too. Which one's the biggest threat? Oh,
the 1 versus the 7. Like it just does. There's nothing that makes sense to these. For me watching
this whole episode did not make sense.
Well, a lot of this whole season, like this whole Kelley David fight, makes no sense. Still makes no sense.
But it's all on Dave's side.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I've never seen Kelley go,
this episode,
I have to get rid of Dave.
This episode, she did kind of, when she was pushing for Rick, because Rick and Dave, she did have a thing towards Dave.
Yeah, but only because Dave was with Rick.
Yeah.
Right? Only because they're linked, right? But she's never actually sat there and gone, well, David's my biggest threat. I really have to get... She's completely open to playing with him, you know?
The same thing about that is, Dave's sitting there going after Kelley, but there's a big 7 people, 6 people to worry about. Kelley's now going Rick and Dave. There's 2 people. There's 2 people I need to worry. What about the goddamn massive wave of like people coming to get rid of these?
I know. Anyway, that's really strange. That's what I mean when I said this is a strange merge, because normally at merge there's a scramble, aren't you? Like, you're sort of like, I don't know, unless you're in the majority, you should be scrambling. And normally, like, even though they do pick a safe vote, right?
Yeah. For
the first one, because they don't know really where they stand. There is a bit of a scramble.
Well, I guess the safe vote process that Kelley's coming in from is potentially in a different situation. Like we said, as I just mentioned, Karma have had 0 issues with the tribal.
Exactly.
The people that had gone to tribal, they had Aubrey and Wendy to get rid of.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nothing to worry about. Nothing to concern the Karma strong mentality.
Exactly.
The other Karmas hadn't even been. And if they did, Joe was gone.
Yeah, exactly. Right?
You know, they haven't had that moment of, oh my God, I'm actually not with this person. They haven't had that.
Joe had that information where he was standing behind Victoria and Ron talking. They're basically saying, we got to get rid of Joe. And this is what I can't put together. Kelley comes there, and then he spends the afternoon painting. I'm like, what are you doing? Why isn't he talking to Dave and Rick? Why isn't he talking to Neil?
Maybe that is credit to Ron. Like, because Ron said all those things, and then the very next episode, Ron was saying, I don't want to get rid of Joe. And
if you're a 2-time player, you've got to have gotten to the point where you've got to sit there and go, if there are options, I have to explore them.
But we sit there, and like I was saying, it's like your Joes of the world, your Malcolms, your Aussies. My favourite style of player is just an awesome physical player, but they lack so much strategic forethought.
No.
Like, what's going on in their mind?
It's like, well, they've been talking about getting rid of me. They're telling me now that I'm okay, but there are 5 other people here now. Maybe I should go talk to them. That's pretty basic.
It's just Survivor 101. Yeah. And it really just, I sat there and he's like, gotta finish it, bro. Yeah. I'm like,
right, finish it.
Yeah, you better, because you're not going to last much longer.
You're not going to be back on the beach to finish it.
And I don't care about your metaphors that it's a phoenix and a phoenix needs to die and revive itself from the ashes. Yeah, great. I really hope that happens. I really do hope that happens.
So do I. But,
however, what an idiot.
I know. Well, it's not an idiot. It's just in action. It's like, look,
why?
Like you said, maybe Ron had him in such a position of comfortableness, he didn't feel... But, I mean, and that's why I said maybe just to explore other options, you would go and talk to the other 5 players that just arrived, wouldn't you?
Kelley said it. You have your plan A, your plan B,
and plan C. And he had no plans. So it was really, really disappointing on Joe's part.
It's so disappointing. Right? Like, the whole... Like, this...
Yes,
disappointing for Joe because he's gone. Disappointing for Kelley for missing the opportunity to get rid of, to break up someone when you have action. You've got 2 idols in your possession. You have potential to talk to people, potential to band together, and you don't have to go to the end with these people.
Right.
You just need to shake up the other team and get them thinking about the game.
Absolutely, right.
You get rid of one of the karmas and they're not expecting it.
They're going to freak.
Some of them might stay rock solid.
But what I mean is,
on the bottom,
all of them are going to become more anxious.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
Because they never know.
That's right. That you put that uncertainty into it. At the moment, they're sitting there going, "There's 6 of us. All of you are gone." Right?
It's so easy.
So easy, right? You take out one of them in the middle, right? All of a sudden, it's like we don't know when the next one's going home. We don't know what's going on anymore. Maybe I need to make a deal with someone else. Mm-hmm. Maybe I need to find somebody else to play with, and that's what shakes it up.
Yep.
We got none of that. So, but anyway, look. I have to say one thing about Kelley and Lauren, right? If I had been sitting in that council, I was, at the tribal, when Jeff came back and said, "Do you want to play your idols?" Right? I would have been like, "Yes, Jeff, I do," because I think that was one of the coolest players I've ever seen not to play the idol.
Yeah, but also very clever from a Victoria and a Ron point, and saying even when Joe was like, "Is that at me?" and Victoria's like, "Physical threats aren't my biggest thing."
No, but this is the thing. Now we're going to get to it, right? This is, I think, where in this trial we really see why you need to go cancel before merge, because Victoria and Ron played the tribal really badly.
They gave up a lot of information.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
There was so much information given out by those two.
Yeah.
In like about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. Kelley now knows where she sits. Right. Mm-hmm. Everybody else in that tribe that aren't part of the Karma 6 know exactly where they stand, and they know exactly what's going on. Ron was so arrogant to say, "Oh, we know who's going home," basically, didn't he? He was like, "Oh, we know, we've got our plan," and Kelley picked up on it, right? And then Victoria was like, "Oh, we got bigger threats to get." She now knows that there's a whole group of them working together, and they're targeting everybody else, right?
Yeah.
Lauren knows it. Neil knows it. David and Rick knows this now, right? It was so much information given out.
Yeah.
And this is why you need to go to trial before, because then you realise what you can say, what you can't say. Ron was extremely arrogant, and that was just a stupid thing to say.
It just,
Right? It basically told the rest of the trial. By the way, there's a core group here, and we're just going to vote you all off blind.
It makes...
Right? And Victoria just stuck her hand up and go, "By the way, I'm part of that."
Yeah.
Right? And by the way, I agree.
Yeah. I just don't...
It was really stupid.
There's a lot I just don't understand about the strategy behind the people who... Like, if you didn't see that, how did you not see that already?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I want to know. Like, look, you didn't need to go to trial.
I think the real strategic brains on Karma is probably Eric and Gavin.
Because they're not sitting... Yeah, they're a bit quiet.
And when they opened their mouth, like Gavin last tribal, to make sure Aubrey was completely, at ease, right? He told a brilliant lie at tribal to make
What did he say again?
Oh, I forget what he said. He was like basically, "Oh, we're all strong, and we've decided who's going home, and if we've talked to you, you know where we're at, blah blah blah." And Aubrey, you could just see. That's cool.
But also, Victoria was a part of helping Aubrey along and so I don't.
No, but all I'm saying is that notice Gavin and Rick don't say things at tribal unless there's a reason to say them. They don't just gab. You know what I mean? And Victoria and Ron was just like basically saying, "You guys are all dead." Yeah,
Ron.
That was just stupid.
Like this is the thing. So Ron's playing this game where he manipulated one person. Great.
But you got to think about who he manipulated too, right?
He manipulates
Joe, right? I mean,
it's like he's
You're not trying to manipulate, a Boston Rob here,
Yeah, you're Joe's a physical powerhouse. He's not a strategic mastermind. Manipulating and keeping someone like that, you've done a very good job. But where does it take you next?
No, well, this is where we get to it, isn't it? The Joe vote for me achieved nothing.
It achieved a potential. If you want to stay strong, you just lost a number.
Well, let's put it this way. Joe was voting with them.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think there would have been a problem with getting Joe to vote with them. Right? He pretty much... You could see from his effort.
And he said, "You go down and find it." He said that to Ron. Ron had Joe.
Right?
Ron had already manipulated Joe to a position where Joe felt safe.
That's what I mean. Like, Joe this is the thing. Joe did not go off with Kelley. He did not go off with Lauren. He didn't talk to Aurora and go, maybe we need to be with these guys or anything. He was happy to sit there and paint.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
Joe's voting with you.
That's a great place to get a Joe.
Yeah. But Joe's voting with you, and if your faction is winning immunity every week, that means they're not winning immunity.
Yeah.
So it's actually better for you to keep him around.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's a smart vote.
Look, I don't think it's a smart... I understand the vote because there's this fear.
It's a really blind vote.
There's this fear that you get with a player like Joe that they will go on an immunity run. But as a fan of this game,
yeah,
I would love someone to go on an immunity run and win.
Yeah. Well,
the $1 million.
Yeah.
But when do they? When do they win?
Well,
we talk about this a lot. How often do the extremely physical powerhouses win the competition?
powerhouse. Sorry, yeah.
A physical powerhouse is so this beacon of threat.
Yeah.
But when do they win the $1 million? When have they ever won the $1 million?
Look, that's what I mean. Like, these people are playing so simply.
It's
at
just,
the moment.
I don't care if Joe
and that's
keeps
why I really
winning.
want Dave or Kelley to wake up, start playing their normal game, right? Because honestly, they could run rings around these people.
Yeah.
At the moment, they're just playing it. It's almost like, in tennis, right? If you play a lesser player, somehow your game drops to be at their level, right? It's almost like that. It's almost like Dave and Kelley aren't playing with real competition, so the game has slid down or something. It's just
But they're just focused on other things. Like, I understand why they got rid of the Joe vote, because it's something that every Survivor does. Oh my god, this person's going to win everything. They haven't won this time. We got to get them out now.
But that's how this is what I mean. They're not thinking ahead, because the Joe vote didn't help them.
Oh, no.
Not at all.
It lost a number that was guaranteed for them.
Right.
So guaranteed
and
that this guy just wants to paint. He just wants to do art on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah. And somebody who can win immunity for your faction.
Yeah.
Okay, if your faction's got it, sure, it's not me, but they don't have it, so we can vote them out willy-nilly.
But now, you take out a Joe, they still have 5.
Yeah.
If this is the way we're playing...
Well, he wasn't in the 6. He wasn't in the 6.
Who?
Joe.
Neither Joe nor Aurora are in the 6.
That's right.
They were voting with you.
That's right.
Purely because they didn't really have any other options.
Right.
However, get rid of a Joe. You're now down to a 6 core with a 1 floater.
That's right. Exactly.
They've got 5.
5.
That 1 floater comes across 6-6.
Exactly. Now all of a sudden you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Right?
And they're also, you've got an idol, Ron, who no one seems to know about, but 2 people know about their idols.
Exactly.
On the other thing. Now the other tribe that you don't know about has 3 idols.
That's right. It's like, I think Karma is really badly placed to survive the merge.
You could have, what you do in that case, if you want to get rid of someone like Joe...
the rest of them actually band together. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. If old school Manu band together instead of trying to eat each other alive. Which I understand, and I love the fact that they don't want to stick to the tribal alliance. But when you have the other tribe that are so stuck,
you've got to break
you need to break them.
They need to get together for 1 vote to break it.
Yes.
Because then they can open the game up and play individually.
But you can't play individually when there is a monster of 6 people strong. Who have had no...
And who are obviously too scared to actually step outside that 6.
Yeah.
Right.
And you need to get rid of one of them so they can start to freak out and play the game.
The only upside here that I can say is that maybe it wasn't clear to everybody outside the 6 that there was a 6, but after that tribal, everybody should be well aware that there is a very strong Karma core that are basically just going to pick them off. Mm-hmm. And they should be banding together to break it. Yeah. It's like a power couple. You want to break it up, so you band together for 1 vote to break it
up. And then the fact that they've never had a reality check, they're not going to be able to understand what happened.
Look, in one sense, this vote is the worst vote that could have happened for Karma, right? Because they're still in their happy, comfortable place. Yeah. It's like, we picked Joe. Joe went home. Everything's just going smooth.
However, like you said, only if Manu only if they.
But what I mean is, this complacency is also a bad thing, because they're not. Mm-hmm. They're going to be in their own little bubble, thinking everything's great, which gives a great opportunity to everybody outside it to do something constructive and break it up. Right. Yeah. But anyway, look. I thought the other interesting thing was the votes. Right.
Yeah.
David got 3 votes.
That was an interesting vote, wasn't it?
Because David's name never came up as a votable, right?
But
it was Rick's name, right? It was Joe's name.
So who came up? Dave, Kelley, Joe.
Yep, David, Kelley, Joe, and Rick. Rick got 2, right? Joe got obviously the majority, but Kelley got 2.
Yeah,
that's kind of expected, right?
Yeah.
But David got 3. I was like, David got 3. Who's voting for David? We never saw anything about that.
You don't need to. This is enough to go, Kelley, I cannot keep you as my enemy. They are against. That's a clear sign that these people do not want returnee players.
That's right. That's what I'm trying to get at here. David, you just got 3 votes at the merge. That's not good.
No.
That means there's a strong faction out there that want you gone.
Yeah.
That's not. So you need to actually find people to play with right now.
Yeah, and the people.
You and Rick are not enough. You got to find some other people.
Especially when there's that much. They can afford to get rid of a Joe by still throwing 3 votes on a Dave and 2 on a Kelley.
And like Rick got the information that his name and Kelley's was being thrown around, right? So David knew that it was between Kelley and Rick, right?
Still gets 3.
And he still gets 3 votes. That's a pretty strong,
big warning sign.
Big towel, right? If I was David walking back from that beach, I'd be adding up votes left, right, and centre.
I just don't understand right from the get-go that they didn't band together as returnees. That blows my mind. That blows my mind.
Absolutely. Look, these people are experienced enough to sit there and go, I need to work with David. David's going to sit there and go, I need to work for Kelley just for this vote.
I mean, but any season where there is a returnee,
you're under the gun.
They're always like looked at under a microscope going, we've got to get rid of them. Any returnee being like the head of a tribe, any fans versus favourites, the favourites want to get rid of the fans.
Yep.
Any of these situations where you bring back someone, they're a bigger threat than usual. So stick together. You're all big threats.
Even if you don't stick together enough to make sure that there's not a block that's just going to vote you off.
And it's just ridiculous.
Keep breaking the game open.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for here. Is like,
I hope so.
All I can say about Kelley and Lauren at this stage, remember I said it was a cool vote on their part. And it was like, when I say cool, I mean
not playing their idols.
It was. I would have played it if I had been them. I think they just had nerves of steel because I saw Lauren look across at Kelley, right, when Jeff said,
anyone on the play,
and
Kelly's and Lauren was like, she said, like what Victoria said means that could be coming for you,
right? And Kelley was like this, right, and then she just looked down, and Lauren was like, okay, right,
yeah. And but here's the thing about
the good thing is though, the only good thing out of this. They still have 2 idols, and now there's only 11. It is stronger.
What I enjoy about not playing it is she didn't play it defensively.
No, exactly.
That's a defensive play.
Exactly.
But
she could have played it
defense. Will they play it offensively? These are what they need to do. They need to be playing offensively, and they need to be shaping the vote to play offensively.
Well, I hope, right? I know Kelley well enough to know.
I reckon she knew Joe was going.
I think in the end, I think she was... In the end, she thought it's going to be somebody else but me, maybe Joe, right? I think she was smart enough to figure that out, right? But the thing here I hope that's going on is that Kelley's sitting there and going, she's not keeping it for defensive play, I don't think. Right?
I hope so.
I don't think so. That's not the way she plays either.
Yeah.
So I think the reason she's kept it is because she's gone, I don't need to play it now.
But I've got information.
I've got information. And I think this is Aubrey's thing, right? She's well aware. The real information will come out in the tribal, and it did.
Yeah.
Now she's got the information she needs. I think she's going to hopefully use it the way she used to, break up that break up that block, and get them to play individually.
Yeah, and I guess she knows she's a threat, and maybe it's a bit more. It's a safer way to know that the votes are coming on you, rather than guessing: are they going to a Joe? Are they going to a me? Or are they going to someone else?
I think she's smart enough to figure out. It was Joe this week. I know who they're going to vote next.
Yeah.
It's going to be me, right? So I need to break this. And the best way to do it is actually get the votes and play my idol and send over the person I want to send home.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I'd hope so, because I'd like to see some really fancy idol plays coming up.
And the last thing I'd like to talk about is, what do you think about the Extinction Idol people being on the jury?
I don't mind it, because... I also think that those people will not be on the jury come Extinction coming back in. They're getting information, and whoever does come back in, will make the jury.
That's right.
Because or else the jury will be like 20 people.
I know, right?
It's stupid.
But that's what I mean. I was thinking about this, and I think it's really interesting because now they're basically getting to watch
everything,
and get the information. So when they do come back in, they're not 6 tribals behind.
I'm just hoping for Extinction. I like that, and what I do want to see is Joe get out there, get some advantages, get some disadvantages.
Look, let's put it this way.
Now that we know that's how it is. That's
exactly.
how, like, you know, it's not... I thought everyone got to practice with the sticks.
No.
It was only Chris.
It was only Chris.
So,
it didn't help him in the end, did it?
No, it didn't help him, but he came close. It did.
Oh, well,
the knots screwed him over, but he didn't... He was up there. He was a chance.
But look, I think this is playing out well. The other thing is, Aubrey and Joe will be together, which are the 2 returnees from the Karma tribe. Maybe they'll work something out between them.
We only know one's going back in, though.
I know, but maybe they can work something out. You never know. Like, what I mean is, like, is it only one that's coming back again next time, or is it going to be another set?
Or
you know what I mean?
Coming back. Yeah, you never know. You're not really sure what we're going to get thrown at, but I'd assume it's only one, and I'd be playing that I'm the only one that can get back into this game.
Oh, absolutely.
So when it comes down to whenever a map comes, I'm not sharing information. I'm going to keep that to myself.
Right? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that was a big mistake on Rick's part.
We know it was, but he got back in the game. So
Well done. So that's about it.
That's it. I have to go back and cry. But I'm hoping and very hopeful Joe does make it back in for my sake.
Yeah. No, just not for your sake, for Joe's sake as well. Look, I would actually like to see Joe back in there. I don't think Joe's ever really made that too deep, has he? Oh, no, he's
definitely always in jury.
Yeah. No.
I just don't think he's got the final 3.
No, I don't think he's made final 3.
Well, it's hard. It's the same concept as like.
Aussie did.
Aussie got to the final 2 back when it was final 2. By winning all these immunities, which makes it a fit. Obviously, he had no ability to talk.
Yes, that's right.
His game at the end.
Yes.
Which lost him everything. So now, a person like a Malcolm or a Joe that comes along, that's a different thing. Amber and Rob made it to... Amber wins $1 million. Yeah. Now, a power romantic couple is something you break up. So it's the same concept. Yeah. You know?
But anyway, look...
that's it.
Yep. I hope we see a lot better strategy next week.
Yeah, it was painful. It was upsetting and painful to me. But that's it. I still love it.
All right.
It's a great season so far.
Yeah, nothing to really complain about, except get some strategy, guys. Come on.
Yeah. All right. Robin.
Jack. Inwits. See ya.
Bye.